actually right here. So just with the press of a button, you guys see I did that with just one finger, really easy. And once you do that, you actually access the back of your tailgate. Now, as you can see, this one has the tailgate work surface. So I'm actually gonna put my pencil down here for just a moment, which is a great feature. And then you guys can even see here, I can even put my tablet back here in here as well. So if in the event I wanted to watch a cool video and get a tutorial on YouTube or be able to utilize that space, I mean, I normally put like the smaller screws and nuts and bolts here. You can use it as a cup holder. But what's also nice is it gives you measurement in either imperial or metric, so it's really great. Another big feature is the tailgate step. So this is really good. And you guys can see a lot of the stuff I'm doing with one finger, right? It's just to kind of demonstrate how easily you can function and use this stuff. So when you pull that, and I recommend always guiding that down, you have your step here. You're going to pull out your assist bar here, and that pulls out. That comes up here. And once you do that, guys, now you have a really easy way that you can access the back of your bed. It's really cool, really awesome there. And what's nice about it is it also makes the step down really easy as well. So it makes it a lot easier to get in and out of the bed of your truck. When it's time to fold it down, it's really simple. Press 1, press 2, fold that in, and then put that step back up in there. Really easy. All right, so that works out great. So guys, I want to show you something here. Larry, let's do a little bit of a switch. I want to show you guys some other cool features that you are going to see as you get into the bed of your truck. Now, one of the big stories that we have is, of course, the Pro Power Onboard, right? And this particular truck features the 9.6 kilowatt Pro Power Onboard system. And that's a standard when you're getting into the Lariat. Now, that's great because what you can really do with that is you can do great things. Like you can run a welder, a space heater, and so much more. And really how that's done with the Pro Power Onboard system is that you actually have, and you can kind of see it here, you have, as I showed you up front, with your front area and those 120 volt outlets, you actually have additional 120 volt outlets here, so you can run things like a hammer drill, I mean, even a laser printer, a microwave, a blender, whatever, I mean, even a TV. So you can do some tailgating and front gating. I still don't think that sticks, Larry. I keep trying. I promise I'm gonna get that to stick. But also, guys, another big story, and I know Larry gave you guys the close-up there, you also have the 240 volt outlet that you have here in the back as well. So I'll show you that also. So here's what that means if you're keeping count, because there's two that I didn't show you. But in total, guys, you are going to have 11 power outlets coming from your F-150 Lightning. That's right, 11. Here's the breakdown. You have 4 up front, so 4 120 volt outlets up front in the front area. You have 2 120 volts that are actually inside the cab. You have 4 here in the back, which I just showed you. And then you have the additional 240 volt outlet here in the bed of your truck as well. So that gives you a count and a total of 11 in total. All right. So how great is that? How awesome is that? Again, really giving you some key features that are really awesome there. Larry, I'm going to close up the back of this, and then I'm also going to show them some other cool features. So we're going to make our way towards the front of the Lightning here. All right. So you guys can hear. Let's go ahead and get this tailgate closed up. Perfect. Now, another great thing, and you guys see there, one of the options that you can do on the inside, if you don't want to utilize all the power options, you actually have the availability to set it and do it as a manual tailgate. So one cool feature that I do like and appreciate is that if I don't want to have to worry about the power, you can actually, from your Sync 4 screen, you can actually go ahead and do it as manual. So that's one of the options that you can set in your vehicle settings. So as I talked about the Sync 4 screen, give me just a minute, guys. I'm going to get this powered on because I want you guys to be able to see how this screen really looks and really get a good idea. With the Sync 4 system, here's what I want you guys to think. It takes that personable feeling of your truck and really takes it up one more notch. With the Sync 4 system, the Sync 4A system, what it does, and let me make sure I make that differentiate between the two. Sync 4A, okay? Sync 4A is a more personalized computerized, intuitive system that allows the vehicle to learn some of your frequent habits. So as an example, let's say every day I call home and call my wife at a specific time. What it's going to do, look at that, guys, it even gives us some music there as I kicked on. I have my phone program and synced to the car. So what it's going to do with the Sync 4A system, it's going to learn my habits, even so much so knowing that I like epic music. So it's really nice because what it does, let's say I call my wife at a certain time every day. Well, the benefit of that is just like our smartphones have started to learn some of those habits and make suggestions, your Sync 4A system is going to have the ability to do so as well. Now, I want you guys to see this gorgeous 15.5-inch display screen, so I'm going to go back here and I'm just going to show you guys some of the things that you can have. Larry, go ahead and get in there and show them what that beautiful screen looks like. It's a 15.5-inch portrait touchscreen. It has enhanced voice recognition. It comes standard on the Lariat and the Platinum models, and it also offers impressive features including voice access to your favorite apps, connected navigation, and as I mentioned earlier, the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Now, one of the great things that you're going to have with this is that with the Bang & Olufsen sound system, it's an 8-speaker system, and with the touchscreen, it actually moves really fluid. Now, as you guys seen, I had it on our Apple CarPlay, but if I wanted to go back and go to our standard built-in navigation, I can easily do that as well. It's going to give me certain features like I can pinch to zoom, so that way if I want to find my location or get more familiar with where I'm going, I can easily do that. I also have the great thing here where I have apps that I can access, and I can even program and save some of my favorite apps along here at the bottom, and so it's just a ton of features that you're going to be able to get familiar with and really enjoy in your ownership experience. Another great thing that I love is that any apps that you have on your phone that are compatible with your Sync 4A system, they actually will automatically populate, and so that's again another great feature that really builds into your lifestyle. So guys, that's just a highlight of what we have on the Lariat. Larry, let's go back to our screen and let's take a look, guys, because we're sitting in it, so I want to show you guys our Platinum trim level. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Platinum. Guys, we are back, so take a look at that. That's some of the 360 screens that you see there. Now, I know you guys heard the beeping, and I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna give you the inside scoop, and I'm gonna tell you some fun things, right? So as I talked about, guys, right, we are live. Now, if you were paying attention, and I know some of you were, because I know you caught it, I know how you are, because I would have done the same thing. I said, hey, let me close my front, and it didn't close, right? Well, guess what, guys? That's because this is a pre-production model. Of course, as I told you guys before in our other live streams, we're really getting these vehicles in very early in the build process. And these are not, as I mentioned, these are not production vehicles. They're pre-production. It gives us the opportunity to highlight and show you guys features before anyone else. So I've actually closed the front now. You heard the beeping twice, but it was just because when I closed it the first time, had a little bit of a malfunction, but it's all right. We got it covered. So with that being said, you know it's live. We're here, right? All right, guys. So let's talk about our Platinum trim level and have some fun with it. Now, with the Platinum, I told you earlier, it has all the bells and whistles, right? So one of the things that you're going to notice, if you notice when I was sitting inside there, it is the premium Nirvana leather trimmed seats. That's a big thing because not only does it give you the style, but it gives you the comfort as well. With the Platinum on the inside, with those seats, they also are going to be multi-contour. And what that means for you guys is it has our active motion. And if you're familiar with the motion, as you're driving for long distances, by adding the addition of massaging seats that you can actually program to set and help you as you navigate. So it's really, really cool because what it does, it helps keep you alert, keeps that blood flowing. That way you're not getting uncomfortable while you're driving for long distances. It also is a 10-way heated and ventilated driver's seat with the memory, and as I mentioned earlier, that carries over also, same way as it did with the Lariat, that carries over to the passenger seat as well. All right. Now, not only do you have those premium seats, but some of the things that you're going to notice here up front is our, of course, the extended range battery comes standard on the Platinum trim level. So we'll talk a little bit more about why that's such a big deal. I'm going to tell you that. But here's the other big story. Up front, you have our high gloss Vader black very distinctive grille, but now you're going to go into it being high gloss instead of, as you remember in the other trim levels, it did not have the high gloss capability and feature. All right, so again, another highlight when you're talking about the addition of the Platinum. Another thing that you'll notice, you do have the 22-inch Bright Machine aluminum wheels. So we've gone up again, gone from 20 up to 22s. You have the twin panel moonroof and the onboard scales. And of course, you also have the Max Trailer Tow Package. Now, the Max Trailer Tow Package is a really big deal because it comes standard, and that's going to give you the increase your towing capacity up to 8,400 pounds. Okay, so a really big for that, because like I said, it's all F series. So if you're really seeing that, hey, I want to put this to work, you're going to be able to do that with that standard Max Trailer Tow Package. Another cool feature that you're going to have, of course, is, and we talked about this in one of our questions, phone as a key. So phone as a key is great because, as I encourage you always, make sure you download your Ford Pass app. It's a free app to download, and with that, you'll be able to utilize certain features as phone as a key. You can program your charging times. You can also do other cool things like locate your charge stations or even set out your trip route. So a lot of great features that you can access there. Now, we talked about sound, right? And we talked about on the Lariat, for all my note takers, it was how many speakers? 8. That's right. Well, guess what, guys? When you get into the Platinum, you are going to kick that up, and 8 is going to turn to 18. That's right. You guys, in the inside of this, you are going to have the B&O Unleashed with the 18 speakers and subwoofer, still with the HD radio. So that's another big story for the inside of the vehicle. Another cool thing that you're going to have when we talk about technology is you are going to have the Ford Copilot Active 2.0 features. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about what that includes. That's going to include the Active Park Assist 2.0 and our Ford Blue Cruise. So let's talk about what the Blue Cruise is and how that system works. So the Blue Cruise system is great because it allows the driver to take their hands off the wheel. Now, how that works, guys, it is on designated roads, so it's not on every road that you come, but it's what we call our hands-free blue zones. Right now, that stretches to over 130,000 miles of highway in North America. Now, that's divided highways that have already been populated and input through Ford, and it's 130,000 miles of designated highway that you'll be able to use those Blue Cruise zones. So, Larry, let's take a look. I'm going to kind of walk them through and show them kind of how this feature might work in a real-world application system. So, with the Blue Cruise, guys, to give you an idea, it gives you the ability where, as I mentioned, you can come in, you can take your hands off of the wheel, but what's important about that, and you might not be able to see it there, but I'm going to kind of point it out to you, there's a sensor that is right here next to your steering wheel. What that does is that makes sure that you're alert, and it also makes sure that you are, of course, not only alert with your keeping your eyes forward, but keeping your eyes open as well. And so with the hands-free blue zones, you'll get an indicator that comes up here on your display screen. It'll let you know that you've entered into a hands-free blue zone, and then you can take your hands off of the wheel. And then when you are no longer in that hands-free blue zone, it's going to give you that indicator that you need to go back to normal driving. So that means hands on the wheels, alert, and fully ready to drive on your own. All right, but it's a great feature to have. Again, that's part of that Active 2.0, the Ford Copilot Active 2.0 features that you're going to have when you get into the Platinum. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Platinum comes with the extended range battery. And I told you that was a big deal, but I wanted to tell you how that's a big deal. We talked about 11 power points around your vehicle. So a ton of ways that you can get power out of your vehicle. But with having the extended range battery standard on the Platinum, what that means for you is that you are also going to get a benefit in the future. Now, one thing I wanted to point out for my note takers, take this down for you if you're taking notes. When you go into the Platinum, if you remember I told you that your extended range battery is targeting an EPA estimated range of 300 miles for the extended range battery. When you do the extended range battery for the Platinum, that is 280 miles of range. So the reason for that, the Platinum has some additional equipment, and so the range meter for the Platinum is approximately 280 miles on a single charge. All right, so just be aware of that. Now, here's the big story that I told you guys about, and that is our Charge Station Pro. All right, so that's one big thing that you're going to get when you get into the Platinum and when you get the extended range battery. All right, so the Charge Station Pro is good because it is the 80 amp for Charge Station Pro, and it's included with your charging equipment on the trim of the Platinum and when you get the extended range battery. Here's what that means. We're the only manufacturer right now that is offering a 80 amp charger as standard equipment. That's huge, right? That is a big deal because now, not only do you worry about, hey, I want to get all this power out of my F-150 Lightning, but I want to easily get power into it, and you're going to be able to do that. All right, so that's a great thing to have, a great feature. Here's what you need to make it work. All right, so I wanted to go over that with you guys and show you what you need to make it work. It looks like I maybe have some questions, so let me go to our questions, and then I'm going to tell you guys what you need to make it work. All right, so give me a second. Let's get to our questions first, and then we'll come back. So let's pick up where we are here. Our question. All right, this one comes from Christian. Christian's question is the tailgate step only available on the power tailgate? Christian, that's a great question. It tells me you're paying attention. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the question. The tailgate step is actually available on all models, with or without the power tailgate. So that means it's available on the Pro and the XLT as a standalone option, but on the Lariat and the Platinum, it includes the step with the power tailgate. All right, so you can get it across the board as a standalone option, and then as you go into the trim levels, that's when you'll see it become paired with the power tailgate. All right, so thank you for that question, Christian. Really appreciate that. John from Pennsylvania. John's question is, do I make house calls? John, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. With the wife and the family, it'll be really hard because where I go, they go. So, I mean, if you're talking about all of us, I can give you, we're pescatarians. We love salmon. We love fish. So you can set up the dinner table. We can talk all things lightning. But no, unfortunately, John, I don't make house calls, but I do make unlimited calls on Discover Your Ford. So that's a great way where you can go in, and if you have questions or want to come back, remember, I'm going to be here with you monthly. So make sure if you have questions, get those in, because we're going to be able to answer those monthly, but you can also go back to Discover Your Ford. You'll still see my face on a couple of those videos where I talk about specifically some of the key features, functions, and some of the things that you may be wondering about when it comes to the Lightning. Thanks for tuning in, John. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your question. He also has another question. His other question is, how much reduction in range is there while towing and say 3,000 pounds? John, that's a great question. Here's what I have for that. There's no real way to answer that question, because even if it's 3,000 pounds, are you going uphill, downhill? How fast are you going? Is that 300 pounds in the front of your vehicle, or is it in the back, right? And obviously you can't do all 3,000 in the front. It'll be 400 in the front and the other mix in the back. My reason that I say that way, John, is because with the F-150 Lightning, it gives you something that no gas-powered vehicle is going to give, and that's our intelligent range system. So inside of your vehicle, on your display, as you're towing or hauling, you're going to get a constant meter that lets you know your estimated miles based on all of those conditions that I mentioned, based on your speed, your altitude, the driving terrain, what drive mode you have your F-150 Lightning in, and then if you start towing and hauling frequently, the vehicle will start to learn that behavior. So as an example, right now, John, if you were to tow with a gas-powered vehicle, mostly we would say, oh, I can get from point A to point B and I'll have a quarter of a tank left. Well, that's really not a approximation of range, right? Or how many miles. It's just what we're comfortable measuring. With your F-150 Lightning, it gives you a more in-depth glance to tell you in real time what your estimated mileage is based on all of the variables that go into towing and hauling. Thanks for that question, John. That was a great question. Really appreciate that, and really appreciate all of you guys tuning in and your questions. So let's get back to talking about the charging and what you need to make your Ford Charge Station Pro really work? All right, so as I mentioned, it's an 80 amp Ford Charge Station Pro. Now that's serious power, and in order for that to work, there's some things that it needs. First, you're going to need a 240 volt, 100 amp circuit that delivers 80 amps of power. All right, now that's, like I said, that's serious circuitry. So we fully recommend that you have that professionally installed. I know there's a lot of things that inspire the do-it-yourself in all of us. This is not one of those moments. We actually have some partnerships, and we actually have a few companies, one in particular, which is Sunrun, that we have at Ford as a preferred installer. Now, Sunrun offers installation of the 80 amp Ford Charge Station Pro and the home integration system. Now, the home integration system is great, and that's cool because that allows for the Ford Intelligent Backup Power. And I know you guys are wondering what that is. If you're not familiar, the Ford Intelligent Backup Power, that's the one where you've seen that if in the event of a power outage, then your F-150 Lightning can actually power your home for up to 3 days, right? And how that works is that when you have the system properly installed, it allows for the system in the truck to actually send the electric charge back to your home, and it automatically kicks in. So it really takes the place of what you would see with a traditional generator. So what's nice is if you use a traditional generator and now you can interchange that with your F-150 Lightning, which means you don't have to worry about going out in the elements and putting gas in it or anything like that, the F-150 Lightning will automatically kick over. But again, guys, that only works with it being properly installed. So with great technology, with great ability, comes great responsibility. So again, like I said, check out Sunrun or just find a licensed professional installer that can make sure to get that system installed for you guys properly. With that being said as well, you also are going to be able to connect the Ford Charge Station Pro. You'll be able to do that through Bluetooth and through Wi-Fi directly through your phone. So you're going to get connected features, as I've talked about throughout the show. We talked about being able to charge it remotely as far as setting up a schedule, so that way you can maximize and use it during off-peak hours. You can also set up to do, if you want to charge to a certain percentage, you can do that. So if you say, I'm going to charge to 30% here and then do the rest of my charging at work or at the office, you can easily do that. There's a ton of features that you can access and really utilize with the technology that we have in place. Now, Larry, I know I've talked a ton about this car and this truck, truck, but you know what? I'm going to give you guys a chance because I want you to really see it. So Larry, I'm going to step out. I want you to show them one more view of this beautiful F-150 Lightning. I mean, it's great. I cannot wait for, like I told you guys, ordering banks open up in January, and we've covered a lot of information that's really going to help you in narrowing down your ordering and what's really going to work best for you. Listen, guys, I am excited. As I told you before at the top, we are continuing our live streams in 2022. So even though I don't make house calls, I'm surely going to make it feel like it because I'm going to bring this same level of excitement. You guys have asked some great questions, and one of the things I want to let you know, it's a little secret, so don't tell everybody. Well, you can tell more people. But one of the great things in 2022 for the formatting of our live streams, we're going to continue to build subjects around the questions that you guys ask. And so what we're going to be doing in our live stream episodes is that we're going to be going through and we're going to be talking about specific questions that you've had. For instance, we get a lot of questions about the ProPower onboard system. And so as we build around our live stream content, special shout out to a good friend of mine, Sabil, who I know is tuning in. He actually messaged me and said, I'm going to be tuning in tonight and rooting for you. So, Sabil, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is always fun. I want to thank my dynamic chat team. As I told you guys, we're wrapping up our live streams for 2021. We're excited to kick off 2022. I want to thank you to Larry, who always makes me look good, and always, even when I ask him to show you guys crazy stuff, he's always right there getting into it. I want to thank my production team and staff and everyone in the back that makes all of this live stream work and come together. Remember, guys, check out Discover Your Ford. If you have questions, you need more tips, walkthroughs, one-on-one videos, all that fun stuff, and set your calendars, because I'm going to be back. Now, this has been fun, but I've got to run. But like I said, guys, don't you worry, because I'll be back, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great night. Happy holidays. We'll see you in 2022.
Thank you for guys joining me on the live stream. Happy holidays to you guys. And thank you, Linda. And thank you for everybody.